Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to look about the SSRF. So before going to the SSRF, what is SSRF? Can I ask one question? Have you ever wondered how an hacker can trick a website into attacking itself? That's exactly what is happening in the SSRF. SSRF attack. So server side request forgery. So it means today in this video I'm going to explain SSRF in the simplest way as possible with real life example. Then we can do hands-on examples lab from the Portswigger to see in the actions of one or two. So first let's look what is SSRF. So SSRS means like a server-side request forgery. It's in a website vulnerability. So that allow an attacker can cause us a server-side application to make a request to unintended location. So I will say in another form, to understand easily. So SSRF happen when a website make request to another system on behalf of the user, but doesn't properly validate where it is connecting to. Okay, in simple words we can say like that. Imagine you're ordering food from Swiggy. You tell the delivery guy to pick up from the the biryani from the restaurant. But instead, you trick him to go to bank and bring the confidential file. So that's what happening in the SSRF. Like tricking the server to fetching something it shouldn't kind able to do. And also think of a shopping site that fetches a stock details from another server. Normally it's like a stock dot be like shop anything like .net. But if the attacker changes the request to like a local host slash admin, so the server might reverse its secret admin and panel it trusts itself. So SSRF is calling someone from the inside a company to get your access that outside should never have. So that what is SSRF? I hope you understand. Means like you have only access to this page, but the SSRF is calling someone like inside the company to get your access like outside that you shouldn't have the permission to have. So that what a simple way is SSRF. So now let's look at the impact of SSRF. So okay, and access internal system like database admin panel. So SSRF can able to access that. Attacker can result to unauthorized action or access the data with organization, and this can able to lead to then leak sensitive data like AWS metadata kind of things. And okay, so with SSRF, an attacker could access hidden admin panel, steal the cloud credential, or even run the system commands. So that's why companies like Facebook, Google, AWS pay huge bounty for the SSRF finding itself. Here we can see that OWASP top 10 of 2021. When we go through this, we can able to see the SSRF is one of the top 10 of the attack risk, security risk in web application. So that's what the companies like everyone has to hide the has to be more paid huge bounties to SSRF findings. Okay. Now let's look the types of the SSRF attack. Like mainly 8 topics to cover. Okay. First is SSRF against the server. So it means like a local host 127.0.0.1, and the second is about the SSRF against the internal backend system. That is means like the admin panel or any kind of thing. Then blind SSRF is there. Then we can see blind SSRF vulnerability. Then SSRF with black link bypass. So there are some kind of things are there. So these are the 8 most common scenarios over there. I will say what are the 8 of things, but I'm not taking in this video. If you want, you can comment. Okay, and 50 is like SSRF with whitelist bypass, like URL phrasing or any kind of thing. Then 61 is SSRF filter bypass way open direct. And next is SSRF by outer input vendor, then impact of cloud vulnerability. So these are the 8 of things. Now we can go to some hands-on experience with the Portswigger lab. The first basic SSRF against the local server. So in this lab it's going to say this lab have a stock check feature, so which fetches data from the internet system. So as I mentioned about in this chatting, that is about like if there is a login page and in a profile updated page, so in that, instead of the profile update from the system, it have an option of URL update. So the browser have to download that URL. So that's what happening in the backend. So I hope this is like one of that I didn't run this lab. Let's do together. So the idea of this, that what a website has a stock check features, so that fetches data from the internal system. So our goal is to exploit it and gain the access to the hidden admin panel, and that's only available in the locally. So at the local system that he have mentioned, then finally we use it and delete the username Carlos. So that what we have to do. So it's like, so basically directly browsing to admin doesn't work because it only accessible internally. But the stock check features allows the control the URL and the server fetches is out. By changing the URL, we can trick the server into fetching the HTTP localhost admin and turning it to us. So that's SSRF here. So let's do it. If you want, if you have any doubt, you can go through the solution, and also community solution is there, and the solution also like. Firstly, we can do without looking at solution. Let's go. So in the question, it say like we have to access the admin page. So just try by here, by we can able to access it. So just try what's the admin page is there. Okay, not found. Like just try. When we can try the admin. Okay, admin interface is only accessible if you log in as an administrator, and in the robot, like in that txt, we can't able to find the any allowed access. So we don't know what's the path. So as expected, say like forbidden. So because only local requests have been allowed. So next we can open the burp suite, and okay, burp suite is here. So for that, as mentioned in the task, we have to go to any product details to see the check stock. So we have to reach here. We can open turn on the proxy. Now we can give on the check stock. So behind the scenes, that the send the request to fetch the stock from the another system. So we can open do this using the Bob suite to interrupt the request and send repeated to testing. So for that, we have to check stock, and the request will come here. Then the product stock. So here we can see the only parameter that is about the stock, and it's a post request also. So here we can see what it is by clicking. We convert the test. So let's like this is what I have done, like by clicking on the control U to see what this correct URL has been there. So it's showing that HTTP stock webs. We like to show website 880 pod product stock check seek to produce product ID 1. So this is what URL saying what has been fetching to see the stock API. So we have to do here, it is like we have to access the admin panel and to change. So this is the vulnerable thing. So before that, we can give to the repeater. Then we can change here. First look, did we have access to localhost? For that, HTTP localhost. the access to 200. Okay, that's all. It's one of the vulnerability in SSRF that's showing in the parameter. It's giving the another access that we don't want to access as a user. So here we can see if we have admin here. Yeah, it's the same URL. It is like admin here, so we can able to access through this. Yes, we got 200. Okay, now we can see according to our task, we have to go to localhost, delete and the Carlos. So in this admin panel, we can check if there is a Carlos. Yes, here's a Carlos. This is the URL to delete the Carlos. So let's copy this. Yeah, 300 not found means that it had sent the request, but it had sent the request. Let's look. We can see here run 3 options like a pretty, pro, hexa, render, but render is only for the community version, like pro version. So in the render we can able to see like the image of what's happening is, so that will be easy. So we have completed the lab by giving the URL here to delete the username Carlos. So we have been deleted here. So that was like a pretty easy. I thought like we had to do other things, and that's the lab one. So that's really unexpected. So that's what I have been looking like this. Okay, now let's do the second lab. So let's move on the second lab. Let's off this proxy. I hope you understand about the first lab. And now the second lab, that is basic SSRF against another backend system. So let's read this question. In this lab, the stock has been checked. Same as about there is a stock check features in this chat that fetches the data from the internal system. But in this, we have to change that internal to this IP address range and find that this range in the admin, which is there is in the admin panel, and we have to deal with the Carlos. This time maybe you think it's like a slightly challenge and harder, but we can find everything. It's possible, guys. So instead of we have to target in the local system, we need to scan the internal network like this range. So this will find the admin panel during on the port 818, and once we find out, we use to delete this Carlos. Now we can access the lab. So we can go to any of this product and we can check stock. We reach here, then clear history, cap. Now we can go to check stock. Here we can see, as we seen in the second last lab, about the stock API. So we have to change like Control Shift U. So we will get the correct URL. So this is this is the IP address, and this is the port, and the product stock say Portswigger. Okay, that's what we have been seen the same. So now we have to change this into, as we mentioned here, to the internet 192.168. So let's change this. Before that, we have to go to repeat her, and we can change from here. So we have to replace this to HTTP like //192.168.0.1, like 1, that's what we are starting, so we can give as a 1, that's a IP address starting, and we given the port. So like just checking here, we can able to access the admin panel by giving this. So we can see missing parameter, so we can't able to access. Then we can do here, we can change about, like we can check if any this is accessible, the same parameter. So we can change here this IP range to second IP range, we can able to access. Yeah, in the 2 it is accessible. We can see here it's admin or not, but no admin panel is there, so this is not what we needed. We can check the 3, it is the if admin, no admin is there. So we have to find out the admin panel, in which IP address the admin panel is there, that is 6.1. So for that we can do an easy method, that is we can give this to intruder, and instead of automatically manually we change in this parameter, we can change this to clear all the parameter, add a parameter here like 1, we can start from the 1. And what's the payload, it is like number start from 1 to what is our IP range, 255, and step 1 all the payload, I think this will be okay. Then we can give one number. Okay, now so in this it will automatically go through the all check and see what's happening there. Here we can see 400, that 1 2 we have been tried. We want to check any other 400 status code is there. The others are giving 500 responses. Let's wait, it's only 21. So our attack has been finished. It almost took 5 to 10 minutes for me to complete. Now let's see the status of the status code. So I have been clicked here to see status code. So 10 we have been look 0 is the, let's look by giving admin here. Okay, 1 we have been look, and 243 is the, let's look 243 here. Repeater, what's the status, we can see 440 not found. And can we give here admin here? Yes, this is accessible. So we found out which IP address, as we can able to access the admin panel. Instead of scrolling, we can search here admin, then we got, so we access the admin panel. Now we want to, what is our task is that we have to delete the Carlos. So we got the admin panel. Then in this admin panel, now we can check about the Carlos. Yeah, we got 243 admin Carlos. So this is our IP address. So this is our URL to delete the Carlos. So we're going to give here I hope this correct. Then now we can click the send. Yes, we have been solved this lab. So I hope this is also easy and understandable. And if anything I want to improve in my version of taking this class and teaching this lab, please do comment. And sorry for the background noise. So this is like I start the attack, when it finished it showed the status code, so most of the requests show the error. So forbidden response, but we can only got the 3 of them 400 response, 400 and 404. So that's our internal admin interface. So this is the lab show how very powerful use of SSRF pivot in the inside private network, internal network. So notice that external attack, like I could never directly connect to like 192.168.xs in the because it's not a routable. But by abusing the SSRF, I made the vulnerable server scan and accessible its own internal server network for me. So far, we have been seeing the SSRF against the local host and internet network system. So this is what in today's video. I hope I will do the next Portswigger lab about the SSRF. So I hope you understand what today's lab that is about the SSRF. Now we can wind up. Okay, so this is SSRF in action. We saw how simple input field can abuse the reach the internal system. Always remember, never trust the user input, even it look like a harmless. If you found this helpful, hit the like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if any vulnerability would you like to cover next. So, bye. Stay tuned. See you in the next video. Bye bye, guys.